Eurogold is driven by being the best civil engineering contractor in the Northwest, ensuring its clients are given the highest level of service that they deserve. Eurogold work in a wide range of industry sectors, including house building, highways, commercial and industrial build.
La Vita is an award-winning, independently run Italian restaurant. Located on Rose Lane in the heart of Liverpool, real Italian-style dishes using the best skillfully prepared by our chefs. Come and try our serious Italian experience.
Supreme Upholstery Limited is a manufacturer of quality bespoke upholstered furniture. Come along with your ideas for that perfect sofa to fit your home and let Supreme bring your ideas to fruition. We also offer a service to the contract market, including large hotel groups and small family-run business. No matter how large or how small your order, you will always get that personal service from our sales team. Come along and visit our showroom.
Hello everyone and welcome to the show. This week we're coming to you from St John's Roman Catholic Church in Chorlton, Manchester. Later in the show we'll be telling you a lovely story about Sow the City, which is supporting people to grow their own vegetables. But first, Father Paddy McMahon has been parish priest here at St John's Roman Catholic Church in Chorlton for over 25 years. He has served the community with great care and dignity. People travel from all over Manchester to share in Father McMahon's masses. And over the last 25 years, the church has been packed to the rafters, not a spare seat to be had. Then last Christmas, Father McMahon was told by the bishop to plan his retirement. Father McMahon doesn't want to retire. He wants to continue on to serve the people of this parish. We are here today because some of the parishioners has organised a vigil in hope that the bishop will change his mind and leave Father McMahon to continue on to serve the people of this parish who love him so much.
Nearer, my God, to thee, nearer to thee, in thou it be a cross that raiseth me.
Mike, what are you hoping to achieve by this vigil here today?
Well, two things really, Martin. First of all, I think we want to affirm the love of the people of St John's Parish, of St Alphonsus, St Wilfrid's, all the other places that Father McMahon has been over his 50 years in the priesthood. And he really has been the most remarkable priest. So I'm here today, and I think these other people are here, because we want to get it on the record. We want people to know that this has been a remarkable priest. 50 years he's devoted to people like me, ordinary people. And he's inclusive, he reaches out to everybody, and he loves everybody. So he's a deeply loved person. So that's the first thing. But the second thing is, we want to draw people's attention to what we believe is a profound injustice. If anybody has earned the right to retire on their own terms, it is this man who has given so much to so many people. And we really cannot understand why he has been forced to retire. He's fit, he's well, he's highly effective, he's got bags of energy, and he wants to carry on being parish priest at St John's in Chorlton. And there's no explanation being given to us as to why he should be forced to retire against his will. And particularly in the context, a couple of years ago, the bishop came to this church and said that he had to reorganise the diocese because of a shortage of priests. And we've got now the bizarre situation in the context of very, very few priests, somebody who is fit and well and doing a brilliant job being made to retire. And we really can't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to us. I've written to the bishop, many, many people have written to the bishop. And what we're struggling to get is a coherent explanation as to why he is doing this to Fr Mc Mahon. And you point out, the President of the United States of America, Joe Biden, is 78 years old. He's just been elected for a 4-year term. He said he's going to stand for a second 4-year term. The Pope is 85. The Cardinal down in Westminster is 75. It's ageism, and it seems to be picking somebody out for no good reason that we can identify. And we want people to know and understand that. And hopefully this injustice will be righted.
And Maureen, of course, Father Mac got involved in so much in the community here with football teams and boxing. Tell me about that.
Well, of course he's involved in the boxing. We have it down in the parish centre, and they've actually won many prizes, so it's been very successful. The football team have done very well, but we have Irish music down there and Irish dancing. So he has everything. There's people who play chess down there. There's everything down there. Father Mac is so encompassing with everybody. He wants to bring which he does do, you know well yourself. He brings people into everything that's going. For every part of the congregation, every part of it. He's just absolutely fantastic in the things that he does. And there are many, many things going off in the parish, which I'm sure would just die if he goes. And like you say, the boxing, it keeps young lads off the street, it learns them how to defend themselves respectfully, and the football, great pastime, Irish music, Irish dancing, people who play chess and everything. They're all over there in the parish. He sorts them all out. Then, of course, he has the bingo. So he does so many things. He has bingo on Tuesday nights as well.
And, of course, prior to the pandemic, this church here was absolutely jam-packed. Every single service that went on, it was crowded.
Well, it was, of course, and during this Lent, he also put on an early morning service, and I can tell you about 200 people turned up for that at 5 to 7. So whatever he put on, people would go, because Father Mac is not judgmental. He is so encouraging to everybody that everybody wants to come and hear what he has to say and know that they have a wonderful welcome here at St. John's. But I cannot believe that anybody would want to get rid of him.
Angela, what does Father Mac mean to this parish?
Well, he means an enormous amount. He's integral to the community. He's welcoming, and he's also he opens his arms to any lapsed Catholic. He's actually works tirelessly visiting the sick, not only of our parish but other people who request it. I have friends who are non-Catholics, but he gives them spiritual guidance, and also he's actually done funerals for people that are lapsed Catholics. However, they want to return back to the faith, and he there welcomes them, and that's totally acceptable. He just means everything to the people. People come from all around to come to the masses because he is non-judgmental. There's equality with every person that comes into this parish, and I think it would just be devastating for him to leave. He enriches people's lives. We would like him to stay in this presbytery to enrich, whether somebody comes in new, but I think there's a few more years in Father Mac yet. He's a vital part, and I think people just come from all around because they just feel so welcome and comforted.
And he's quite a character, and I know a couple of years ago he celebrated his 50th anniversary here in the priesthood.
He did, and he celebrated many priests' longevity in the priesthood, but it was wonderful that he could celebrate his 50th anniversary here. The fact that he's a character makes him so approachable to so many, and I think that is what you need in the church.
Andre, I believe you've got some children at St. John's Roman Catholic School.
That's right, I have a daughter, Martha, who's in year 4. She's been going to St. John's since nursery.
And what kind of an impression has Father Mac made on the school?
Oh, he's an integral part of the school. He's absolutely marvellous, very supportive to the parents, very inclusive. He's just a wonderful character, really. We'd be very, very sad to see him go. He's wonderful with the children. My daughter adores him. He christened her as well. He's just very accessible. He's very approachable. The children have a great time with him. I think he's very supportive, as I say, to the parents as well. His door's always open if anything's bothering you. You know, he's very, very, very good. A fantastic priest.
And Jeremy, I believe that you've got some children at St John's Roman Catholic School as well.
I have indeed, yeah. I've got two children, Sophie and Hannah, who both go to the school. I can only echo what we've just heard. Father Mac is fantastic with the children. He engages with them. I mean, you only have to look at the number of children who were at the family mass today. You know, he's just so good to them. He goes to the school and he knows all the names. He's a great character. You know, he talks about football with them, so he can relate. They can relate to him, and that's what's really important, especially when it's difficult at that age to engage with someone like a priest as such. He's quite far the opposite. He's an incredible character.
I could stand here all day and tell you all the good things Father McMahon's done for me and my family and the whole community. He's touched the hearts of everyone in this community. For me especially, it's heartbreaking. As I've known Father McMahon all of my life. I was christened at St Alphonsus, where he used to be, made my Holy Communion there, and I was actually Father McMahon's first altar girl, which I'm so proud of. And then he also married me, christened all my children, and I travel from Lim, which is a good 25 minutes, to come here to bring my children to this Mass because it's the nicest Mass you can go to. Father McMahon makes it fun for the children, who are the next generation, and to keep the Catholic community going. This is what we need, a priest like this and a church like this. If Father McMahon leaves here, we won't have this community we've got now, we won't have the spirit in Mass. And when he left St Alphonsus, where I used to be at church with Father McMahon, no one goes to Mass there, you never see any children at Mass there, and I'm just so scared that that's going to happen here as well.
And Jane, tell me about your time here at St John.
Very similar to Michelle. I grew up in Old Trafford and he's my parish priest from since I was born. I've lived in Chorlton now, just around the corner, for over 20 years now, and my children have brought up here. He's been amazing. He's kept them all engaged, from bringing them on the altar, involving them in the Mass. He makes it fun for families to come together.
I've known Father McMahon 45 years. He married me and he christened all my kids and my grandkids. And to lose Father McMahon would be heartbreaking, because I wouldn't go to Mass, I don't think, if I lose Father McMahon. Yeah, we're all unhappy about it, and this is why we had this today. We just don't want him to go, and that's it.
What do you think will happen if he does go?
There won't be as many going to Mass. The church will go down, like it did in the previous church he had. It went downhill after he left.
Please leave Father McMahon with us. I like him how he prays for Manchester United. Up Father McMahon! Yeah!
Father McMahon is definitely a priest of the people, and if he has to retire, it will leave an awful lot of unhappy people here in the parish. We can only hope that the bishop will take notice of the people's wishes and leave Father McMahon serving here at St John's in Chorlton. Now we're going to take a little break and we'll see you in a minute.
Eurogold is driven by being the best civil engineering contractor in the Northwest, ensuring its clients are given the highest level of service that they deserve. Eurogold work in a wide range of industry sectors, including house building, highways, commercial and industrial build.
La Vita is an award-winning, independently run Italian restaurant. Located on Rose Lane in the heart of Liverpool, real Italian-style dishes using the best skillfully prepared by our chefs. Come and try our serious Italian experience.
Supreme Upholstery Limited is a manufacturer of quality bespoke upholstered furniture. Come along with your ideas for that perfect sofa to fit your home and let Supreme bring your ideas to fruition. We also offer a service to the contract market, including large hotel groups and small family-run business. No matter how large or how small your order, you will always get that personal service from our sales team. Come along and visit our showroom.
Welcome back. Now, Sow the City is a wonderful project supporting people to grow their own vegetables and helping them with their health and well-being. They've got over 150 sites right across the city of Manchester. And recently we went along to find out a little bit more about this great project.
We're here at Cornbrook GP practice in Hume, near central Manchester. This practice has been prescribing plants for people that are suffering from anxiety, depression and social isolation.
We've been going for about 10 years now, and the idea came from just seeing another project. Actually, it was down in London, and they were growing food out the front of people's houses. The idea was that residents were sharing just how to grow veg, but also meeting each other, and they ran training courses, and I just saw that project and I thought, there's nothing like that in Manchester actually. We should have a go at that here. And I started it off with a couple of packets of seeds, some bags of compost, so it was just a few £100, and it all just snowballed really from there. The next thing really was starting to work with schools, so we started to do some like classes with kids in primary schools mainly. Yeah, just kept on growing, and now we have about 150 or so different sites all over Manchester where people are growing veg. Some of them are really small, they'd just be like a little back alleyway project where there's a few people, a couple of residents that may be just making use of a bit of land that's not been used before. And then there's other projects which are much bigger. So the size of there's a project we work with that's a couple of bowling greens, which is at Platfields Market Garden or Platfields Park in Manchester. There's others in hospitals or in GP surgeries. So we've got like a little project in Hume in Manchester, and they have a small woodland area behind the GP surgery, but they're also growing fruit, they're growing vegetables, and those plants are being used for the patients to help them with their mental health, and also to help with social isolation as well. So sometimes people are, suffering particularly because of COVID, where they're just not being able to meet other people, and it's just really bad for your health to be stuck at home on your own. I think researchers have found that it's as bad as smoking, 20 cigarettes a day, to be on your own every day. So it's really serious for people's health. So we find that our projects are a great way for people to connect with other people, to save money by growing fruit and veg. Also, it's good for their mental health, as I've said, and it's just, I don't know, food's just one of those things that brings people together. We've all got it in common, so it's just great to grow it and enjoy it, really.
And it's absolutely fantastic that you're covering all of Manchester. You've got so many sites in different places, and I know that you're involved with the Irish World Heritage Centre in Cheetham Hill as well.
Yeah, so they have quite a big project that's been going for a few years, and we've been helping out with some workshops there over the years. And we do things like we help with designing gardens and getting funding for new projects. So if people have got ideas for where they want to set up their own community garden or community food growing project, then they can get in touch with us, and we know where to find some money to make something started. Yeah, we've helped in a few different ways with the Irish World Heritage Centre project, but yeah, there's lots of others. And one thing you can do is you can have a look on the Good to Grow Manchester website, and on there's a map with all the different projects that are going on in Manchester, and you can click on the project that's near your home in Greater Manchester, and you can sign up to volunteer for your local project.
Kieron, how important is it for people to begin sowing vegetables for their well-being?
Well, I believe it's fundamentally important because it's almost meaning of life stuff. Now, there's this thing called the biophilia effect, and that's the impacts that the natural world and being engrossed in nature and being a part of it has on the human being. And it comes from, if you equate the amount of time that humans have existed for, 200,000 years say, to 1 week, for 6.5 days of that week, we were reliant on forests for shelter, food. We lived in green settings, and it's only the last half day of that week, if you follow me, where we've become urbanised and started living in towns. So that means we inherently positively react in our DNA and our genes to greenery. And it's like when you go for a walk in a park or in the hills, you feel good. And it's the same in cities, which are quite stressed environments, you know, the buildings, the noise, various socioeconomic things going on in people's lives. So if you can get them involved in feeling the earth, looking at plants, being surrounded by greenery, amazing for the mental health.
Well, of course, it's vitally important for people with mental health that they get somebody like this to support them and get them out of their own environment.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that gives me the greatest pleasures. And I've personally worked with lots of people who have chaotic lives, sadly. They might be homeless, they might have addiction problems, and just to take them away from that day-to-day grind for a couple of hours and give them some structure and routine and the reward of seeing a plant go or a ladybird or a sunflower, you know, how amazing is that? And it makes people feel good.
And it's great to know that you've actually got the hospitals involved as well, from all around Manchester and different areas.
Not only the hospitals involved, but the patients in the hospitals building allotment gardens so they can grow their own food, and we show them how to do that. But then when we've had really interested patients from, say, a mental health rehab unit, we've taken them out of the hospital to community settings to build gardens for community groups. We're really proud in the fact that we're commissioned by mainly the NHS, or certainly about 50% of our work the NHS fund us for. So that's sort of like guaranteed income, if you like, and local authorities and housing associations recognise the same, and schools. So that's a sort of secure income. But then we also apply for a lot of grants because it's very fundable work. It's about wellbeing, it's about improving the environment, you know, it's about doing positive stuff in the community. So we're quite a fundable beast.
Tell me about the certificate that you received from the Queen.
Yeah, well, unfortunately we got the certificate during the pandemic, so we couldn't attend the garden party. But the certificate was in recognition of our horticultural therapy services across Manchester and the number of people that we've had involved in green projects, building projects and stuff like that.
Okay, so this is really just the patch of ground at the back of the surgery, and I think it had originally been planned as a wilderness garden, but it had become truly wild and a bit of a rubbish dump. So we had the idea of clearing it out, and with help from Sow the City, we've transformed it into a really lovely place to be, actually. The idea is that we have groups once a week where patients come, and we've been developing the garden together, thinking what we're going to have next year, planting plants and vegetables, and tending it. So that's part of it. And then we have the Prescribe a Plant scheme.
Prescribe a Plant is where we give a patient a small plant to take home, normally a herb, but it can be anything, and they can grow it at home, look after it, and then they can bring it back to the garden, plant it here, or they can plant it in their own garden. And it's just a way we can give the patient access. We can introduce them to the garden, and they can access other services through it in other companies.
Well, there's definitely evidence that people who spend time in a green space have much better mental health, but it's more than that, isn't it? Because it's also about being with other people. The physical activity of gardening is very good for you, and you can do it at whatever level that you're able to do it at, be it digging out a tree stump or planting a few seedlings. So to be able to come down here and hopefully take away some of the skills to grow things back home, that's what we're hoping to develop.
So we do a weekly gardening session where we just sort of do general garden maintenance, and What we do is really led by what the volunteers, what the patients want to do.
I've had 2 heart attacks. I've got 3 herniated discs. I've got diabetes as a result of putting all this weight on. And I used to have my own allotment, which I shared with my nephew. Unfortunately, due to work commitments, he had to give it up and I just couldn't manage it myself. So one day, 2 years ago, I was coming to see the doctor, not here at Booth Street, and this had just started. My doctor, Dr. James, said, "This has just started, do you want to give it a go?" And I said yes, so I came along, and what I found is I can, first of all, I can still do a lot of the stuff I used to do on my own allotment, but in a way where I'm not actually forced to do all the heavy work that I can't manage, because there's other people around here helping. Because it's outside in the open air and it's the fresh air, it's good for me with all my conditions. So that's one of the main things I get out of it. It's social, it's community, it's really good.
Well done to John and Kieron and everybody involved with this wonderful project, and we wish them continued success. Now, that brings us to the end of the show for this week. Don't forget, Henry McGlasson is back with his show next Thursday evening at 7 o'clock from County Mayo, and we are here as usual at 7:30 with the Irish in the UK. Until then, take good care of yourselves and we'll see you next time.